boy, did I miss these babies. Good morning, backup dancers. I'm back from the beach, and to make a long story short, my brother did not sign the paperwork. I'm letting the animals out. What does that mean that he didn't sign the paperwork? Basically, it means that I can't sell Larry's property. But you know what? It is what it is. I think everything will happen for the way it's supposed to, and I'm not going to stress about it or worry about it. I am going to just concentrate on the positive and move forward and take care of Larry. It seems as though you guys enjoy me being by the fire, talking and sharing my testimony. My glasses are still dark because I've been outside and I have transitions. So I'm not wearing sunglasses. But today I thought I would share a story with you guys that, once again, I have been going live doing testimonies for a long time now. So if you've been with me for a while and you watch my lives, you may have heard bits and pieces of the story. But if you're new to my channel and you've never heard me talk, I talk about my life, things that I've been through, and how I got to where I am today. Because there was a time in my life where, when I was in high school, I was really depressed. I was depressed in my 20s, I was depressed in my 30s, and I was depressed in my 40s. And I wasn't living life to the fullest. Really until my husband decided to leave me is when my life took a change for the better. And it's funny because I really thought my life was over when me and my husband got a divorce. I thought, I'll never find anybody better than him. I've screwed up. I've made so many mistakes in this marriage. My life's over. And what ended up happening is I got myself some help. And that's when I found that me and him getting a divorce was actually the best thing that happened to me. Now let me start from the beginning of my career life. I want to talk to you about that. From the age of about 4 or 5, my mother had me and my oldest brother in dance. So I started out young as a dancer. Every single year, we did dance. And as a matter of fact, when we would have, I must say concerts, what do you call it? Recitals, that's the word. When we would have recitals, Mom would always have me doing a solo where I sang and danced. I was not shy at all when I was young. As a matter of fact, do you guys remember the Gong Show? Do you remember that? It was a game that was on TV, and you did a talent, and if they didn't like your talent, they gonged you, and you had to stop and walk off stage. Well, Mom had me in the Gong Show. Y'all, Judy here won the Gong Show. I sang that song by Tony and Teneo, You Better Shop Around. You know that song? You better shop around. You bet. You can tell I don't sing. I don't know how I won. So my dancing continued. As a matter of fact, it continued it continued through middle school, but I became a cheerleader in middle school. And so during, dance season, I would dance, and then during cheerleading season, I would always cheerlead. And of course, you had a dance routine that you always did in cheerleading. So I was still continuing to dance. As I got into high school, I tried out for the dance line. And I got on the dance line my junior year in high school. As a matter of fact, my senior year in high school, I got elected to be head valorette, which means I was head high stepper on the dance line. And so there was about 20 of us people in the dance line, and I loved it. Well, my senior year is when my depression began to get out of control. It was really bad. And my depression started because I started dating someone when I was in 8th grade. And I fell in love with him. And my parents, my mom was very close to his mom. We used to go on vacations together. He was the quarterback of the football team. I was the cheerleader. Everyone knew us. We dated until I was a sophomore in high school. And then we kind of would break up and get back together. But my senior year is when it really spiraled out of control because one of the valorettes started dating my boyfriend. And I had to watch her wear his Letterman jacket and wear his ring, and he was walking her to class, and I was just spiraling out of control. Well, I ended up graduating high school, and I ended up moving in with my dad, and the dancing kind of stopped. Well, shortly after, I don't even remember how oh yes, I do know how it started. I decided that because I started getting really fat when I lived with my dad, because I was depressed and I was eating to soothe me. If y'all hear that noise, it's my rabbits. So I was soothing myself through food. Well, I started going to an aerobic class because I wanted to start doing exercise because I wasn't dancing anymore. Well, I was going all the time. Well, the aerobic instructor said, "Judy, I'm going out of town. Will you teach the class for me?" And I thought, me? But she knew I danced my whole life and I was always in class. So I knew a lot of the routines and stuff. And she said, "Yes, will you teach for me?" I took her up on it. I ended up loving teaching aerobics. As a matter of fact, I started my own aerobic class, and I ended up getting a job at Gold's Gym, and I was the aerobic director at Gold's Gym for about 10 years, and I would hire people and train people for aerobics. I was on a aerobic competition where we would go out to the public and we would do dances and stuff, and to let's just say a department store was having a big sale. Well, we would go out there to gain the crowd and do dances and stuff. And so I ended up teaching aerobics for about 28 years. So the love of dance has always been there. In high school, when all your friends go off to college, I dreamt of living in New York. I just wanted to move. I wanted to get out of town. I was so depressed. I just wanted to move. But I didn't have the self-confidence to do it, nor the finances to do it. And my parents didn't really encourage me to go dance. Maybe they thought I wasn't good enough, or maybe they didn't have the knowledge, or maybe they thought, "Judy, you can't make a career out of dancing." Because both of my parents were very, strong in the workforce. My mom was an accountant. My dad owned his own business. So they were probably thinking, "Judy, dance is a dead end." So I never fulfilled my dream of going to New York and dancing. Well, I taught aerobics until I met Shane. I was teaching aerobics when I met Shane. And when we moved to Stapleton, when I told you about that, I started an aerobic class down there. So I really stopped teaching aerobics when we moved here to Cullman. That was the first time. I did try to go to the gym and get plugged in, but it just didn't work. But then when I started getting a farm, my life started changing. And dance kind of was always in my brain. I still wanted to teach aerobics and dance, but I didn't have time because I was taking care of a farm. Well, I want to teach you a lesson today. You may be watching this channel thinking about something that you always wanted to do. Like maybe you always wanted to dance in New York and you thought you weren't good enough. Or maybe you always wanted to be a news anchor on TV. Or maybe you always wanted to be a nurse but never applied yourself to go to school to get a nursing degree. Well, you can sit here and beat yourself up. I should have done this. Why did I do this? I shouldn't have got married so soon. I had kids when I was young, so I didn't get a career and do what I wanted to do. Well, let's stop for just a minute because I want to share with you my testimony with dance. So I told you guys that I wanted to dance my whole life. Well, when I started my social media, I don't even know where the word dance came from. I can't even remember how it got started, but I started sharing my testimony on social media. And I was telling people that I always wanted to dance. Dance was my everything. Dance is what made me feel good and feel I just loved it. It brought me to mindfulness. I felt like I was good at it. And when I started social media, I started saying, you have choices in life. You can sit it out or you can dance. And I hope you dance. As a matter of fact, one of my followers sent me this gorgeous necklace. It's a diamond necklace that says the word dance. Well, I want to share something with you. On YouTube, they show you what city follows you the most. They show you what age range follows you and so forth. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? The top city that follows me is New York City. So, in a way, I have a dance class. I have a dance class of 100,000 people almost following me on Facebook and over 24,000 people subscribing to my channel on YouTube. So I have an aerobic class of 130,000 people following me. And I have the opportunity to teach them how to dance. Meaning, I have the opportunity to help you make a difference in your own life and tell you that you're not too old to change your life. So maybe you can't physically go into a hospital because you didn't get your degree in nursing. Maybe you can't physically do that. But you have the opportunity to be a nurse. Just like I have the opportunity to dance. I have the opportunity to think, I'm on the dance floor. There's 100,000, 130,000 people follow me, and I got to teach them an 8 count. I got to teach them what it is to have rhythm. I got to teach them that, how to put on what dancing shoes in the morning to get their butt in gear to get to the dance floor, right? I have to do that. But I have to think in my head how to get you to dance. And the way I get you to dance is go, you know what? You think you got problems? Buddy, you ain't seen anything till you've seen me with my problems. Okay? We all have problems. We all have depression. We all have anxiety. We all have a marriage that's probably screwed up and our family's screwed up and so forth. But what you have control of is yourself. You have control to live your life to the fullest. You have the opportunity to make a difference in someone's life. Whether it's your spouses, your kids, your grandkids, your neighbor, you have the opportunity to control that. And if you're sitting around going, I should have went to New York and danced. I didn't go to New York and dance because I was too jacked up over a boy. And I let him get the best of me. So I sit around and do stupid stuff and go to the hospital and all this. I could sit around and say every bit of the same things that you say. But that's not how I want to live my life. I want to be happy. I don't want to live in chaos. I want to live with contentment. I want to live with a smile on my face. When I die, I want people to remember me for good things. I don't want people to remember me. Oh yeah, that's the girl that was in high school that tried to take her life. I don't want people to remember me for that. I want people to remember me for being a champion, for being a fighter, for giving back, for making a difference. And you and I have the opportunity to do this because we can make a difference.
At Snead's farmhouse, where the love runs true, Aunt Judy's in the kitchen, coffee in her hand. With wisdom in her heart, she takes a stand. Life's been a journey,